Back again with another training vlog on the Height and Strength channel, doing a late night squat and deadlift session. Last week I kind of strained something in my hip oblique area. I think it's one of my abdominals, but it's like deep into my hip, and makes it super hard to get out of bed. It's much better than it was, so I'm thinking it's not actually torn. When I first did it, boy, was I feeling like I messed something up. But that's what you get for playing basketball when you're old. Stuff happens. And yeah. So going to try out squats. I'm just going to keep it light with an A tier item here. The camber bar, speed box squats. Keep it light because it feels not great when I've been doing it just in the warm-up sets. And then we're going to try deadlifting with it and just see where we get with it. Not trying to push it, just trying to move some weight. We're on to deadlifts. Should be, anytime I've tried to pick something up just simple like this, hasn't bothered anything. More worried about when I actually have to brace down for something. It's gonna really dig into that, but we'll see. All right, 475 on the bar. Probably all I'm going to do tonight. It's pretty light in terms of getting ready for this competition up in Fargo in a couple of weeks, but I don't really need I do need to. I need to prepare for this show, but with injury, I just need to get some work in, get some reps, get myself feeling confident, and hopefully it feels better. If it feels a little bit better by Saturday, lift a little bit heavier. That's how it should always be. That didn't feel too bad. It felt actually pretty good. Noticing it though, it's not even my abdominal that's hurting while I'm doing this lifting, which is good because that's where it hurts during everyday life. I'm trying to get off the floor playing with my kids. It's like my lower abs don't even want to work. But doing this, notice it over there too. My adductor is seizing up, and I think it's just because everything else is tight, and that's kind of where it connects in. I didn't actually hurt my adductor, but just the sole fact of it connecting near the ab is making it tight. I'm guessing. I don't know. Pain's weird. Injuries are weird. I don't know. We're going to try and do another set of this. If it starts feeling more severe, shut it down. If it feels okay, we'll do another set. So 2 more sets. All right. Set 2. See how it feels. Another thing that's kind of slowing me down is doing this at like 9:30 at night, which isn't a typical time for me to be lifting. Gotta get it done. But I don't want to wake up my daughter, so I'm kind of being a little bit more gentle with these deadlifts. Find it be super beneficial with these rogue bumpers that you can kind of like smack them into the ground. They bounce pretty not like purposely bouncing them, but you can kind of get them to be a little bit easier to lift the weight if you're moving a little bit faster. See that. That was way easier than the first three, which is good. Kind of beneficial to. I don't normally just tap like that on deadlifts, but in this moment, I think it's helping me keep a brace and not having to re-engage and clench down on it. Just letting it stay. Seems to be working. Felt way better than set number 1. So we're gonna do one more. Yeah. Since all it seems like I've been talking about is injury, I think it's important to talk about kind of my mindset around it. Like I know I've talked about like my thought process, but more like my mindset and how I go about thinking about why, like doing all this stuff feels like I'm getting little dinks and bruises all the time that I'm dealing with. But also just like, why does it even matter? And behind me, I have a bunch of just like Sharpied on pieces of paper, little sayings that I keep up. They all mean something to me. They're all important. But one I really like is fly close to the sun. And if you know Greek mythology at all, you know the story of Icarus, his father, Daedalus, making the wings out of feathers. Icarus being so excited to use them. Dad tells him not to. He thinks he'll be fine. He flies too close to the sun. The glue in the wings melts, and he dies. Falls into the ocean. And usually that story is used to talk about like hubris and thinking that you can do things against other better judgment than your own. And while that is an extremely valid story and life lesson to learn, I've always taken it as in kind of construed it to my own liking, I guess, and how that all fits into what the hell I'm talking about is in lifting, in doing anything hard, challenging in life, in doing anything that's your family members at Thanksgiving dinner look at you and go, "You sure you want to do that?" And doing anything like that, you have to kind of flirt with danger. You have to fly close to the sun. You might get burned. You might ruin your wings and fall into the ocean. But you also might fly. I don't know. I don't want to be cheesy about it, but it's also just like, real about it. Like you might succeed. You might be able to, do something that you've never done before. Do something that people didn't think was possible. Break a world record. That's probably never going to happen for me, but I like to challenge myself. And so flying close to the sun to me is this acceptance that, yeah, you're probably going to get hurt. Yeah, you're probably going to get injured. in this endeavor, but doesn't mean we shouldn't try doing it. Doesn't mean we have to listen to everyone that says don't do that. Every once in a while, you got to fly close to the sun. And now I'm all fired up. I should go. I shouldn't have been talking about this at 9:30 at night. I got to go to bed soon. But now I'm all jazzed. Let's go. All right, last thing that I'm doing, I'm just going to do some pull-ups and some shrugs. But I usually probably do a little bit more, another exercise or two of lower body exercise, but just feel a lot of things other than those two very specific movements. We're going to irritate it, like anything that I'd want to do, like a lunge or a single leg variation. I feel like I'm just going to irritate my hip, or not. I'm not just not going to feel comfortable doing it. So just going to do a little bit of upper body, work on some upper back stuff. And because you can never have too much upper back strength when it comes to strongman. So just going to do that, finish up, call it a night. Even those, wow, that's probably the most painful thing I've done all night for my this and that, like just being in an extended, I don't know, lengthened position, pulled on it really bad. I wonder if I like lift my legs up, if it'll feel better. It was a little better. All right, that's all I got for the day. Some squats, some deadlifts, a little bit of upper body stuff. Call it a night. We'll hit it back tomorrow. It was a good session. Not too much pain. Got some positive work in, and overall, solid training session. All you can do when coming back from little tweaks and bruises that get in the way is keep stacking days. All right, see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe and fly close to the sun.